We will learn what AWS is. I will give you an overview of the most essential and most used services, how big this platform is, what is the cost to get this service, and why many big companies are choosing AWS, and the main benefits they are getting from this platform. Let's get started. So what is the AWS? Amazon Web Services is the global cloud platform offered by Amazon that offers flexible, reliable, scalable, easy to use, and even cost-effective cloud computing solutions. Amazon has over 175 services, including in over 20 categories. Let's take a look right quick to the main service categories that AWS has to offer. Analytics, application integration, R and VR, AWS cost management, blockchain, business applications, compute, containers, customer engagement, database, developer tools, end-user computing, game tech, Internet of Things, machine learning, management and governance, media services, migration and transfer, mobile, networking and content delivery, quantum technologies, robotics, satellite, security, identity and compliance, and storage. The platform is developed with a combination of infrastructure as a service. It is a form of cloud computing in which IT infrastructure is provided to end user through the internet. This is intended to DevOps. Platform as a service, it gives the user a platform on which to develop, run, and manage their own application without having to build and maintain the infrastructure. And software as a service delivers an application and all its underlying IT infrastructure and platform to end users. It can be an ideal solution for business and individuals. AWS is used by startups, enterprises, and public sector. Thousands of companies use AWS to create revenue streams, improve operational efficiency, and reduce business risks. Alright, let's move on to services overview. EC2 is one of the most used AWS services. This service will allow you to rent virtual servers on which you can run your applications. The virtual servers are also known as computer instances in the cloud, and are made up of CPU, memory, cloud storage, and networking capacity. You can select an operating system and hardware components of your choice, and it provides you with complete control of computing resources. Some of the main EC2 features and benefits are scalability. It provides an auto-scaling feature to match your server workloads. You can commit as many EC2 instances as you require, or shrink them. Elasticity provides an elastic load balancing. It automatically distributes incoming application traffic across multiple instances. Reliability. AWS servers are located in multiple regions and availability zones. EC2 offers a highly reliable environment where replacement of instances is rapidly possible. Ease of management provides you with flexible cloud hosting services where you can choose the operating system, memory, CPU configuration. Inexpensive. You will pay only for the resources that you use, and it also includes multiple purchase plans. RDS, Amazon Relational Database Services, is a web service that makes life easier to DBAs and developers when they want to set up, operate, and scale relational databases in the cloud. So what are the benefits of using Amazon RDS? Easy to administer. You have the option to use the Amazon RDS Management Console, the RDS Command Line Interface, or simply API calls. Available and durable. RDS is highly available and offers a feature called Multi-AZ, which provides a service levels agreement uptime to 99.45%. There is low risk of data loss because every database has a synchronous replica in another zone. If you have enabled this multi-AZ feature, the databases are always in sync, so if the master DB fails, RDS automatically changes the master DNS to a replica database. Highly scalable. Provisioning scalability and handling downtime due to upgrades or infrastructure requirements is a central task regarding database management. RDS allows you to easily, quickly scale compute and storage resources with a very little downtime. You can scale the compute and memory resources, powering your deployment up or down. RDS offers two levels of scalability features, vertical and horizontal. Vertical scalability. You can scale up or down the size of an RDS instance. There are currently over 18 instance sizes that you can choose from when resizing your RDS instance. If AWS needs to stop your DB instance for scaling, AWS will apply any scaling to your replicas first to ensure that they are available for use when the master is being scaled. Remember to have the multi-AZ feature enabled. Horizontal scalability is an approach that distributes the database across many RDS instances that will work together. Performance. AWS RDS offers provisioned input-output in order to achieve fast, consistent, and predictable input-output performance. Backup. AWS RDS provides two types of backup mechanisms, which are very easy to set up. Automatic backup. RDS automatically performs a full daily snapshot to your data during the backup window set by you and captures transaction logs. Point-in-time snapshots. RDS database snapshots are user-initiated. Unlike automatic backup, which is performed once a day, point-in-time snapshot can be performed as many times as desired. Security features. Amazon RDS makes it simple to manage network access to your database. AWS RDS helps you to run your database instances in an Amazon virtual private cloud. It also allows you to isolate your database instances and connect your IT infrastructure through a standard encrypted VPN. A virtual private cloud, VPC, is a virtual cloud that you have defined and is dedicated to your account in the AWS cloud. Your VPC is logically isolated from other virtual networks. You can launch your AWS resources such as Amazon EC2 instances and databases into your VPC. You have full control over your VPC, including the selection of IP address range, creation of subnets, and configuration of the network gateway and route tables. The key components of a VPC are a subnet, which is a range of IP addresses in your VPC. You have a route table, which contains a set of rules called routes that are used to determine where the network traffic is directed. An internet gateway, which is a VPC component that allows the communication between instances in your VPC and the internet. And you have a VPC endpoint, which enables you to privately connect to VPC-supported AWS services and VPC endpoint services. Elastic Load Balancing ELB is a load balancing service that automatically helps control all incoming application traffic evenly across multiple resources. ELB will automatically scale up or down depending on the incoming traffic. There are three types of ELB available in AWS. Application Load Balancer, suitable for your web applications running with HTTP or HTTPS protocols. Network Load Balancer, it is best suited to work with load balancing of transmission control protocols, TCP, User Datagram Protocol, UDP, and Transport Layer Security, TLS. Classic Load Balancer, used for applications that were built in EC2 Classic environment. Autoscaling. AWS Autoscaling enables you to configure automatically scaling for AWS resources. Autoscale ensures that you have the correct number of EC2 instances available to handle the load for your application. Use AWS Autoscaling to automatically scale the following resources. Amazon EC2 Autoscaling Groups. Launch or terminate EC2 instances in an autoscaling group. Amazon EC2 Spot Fleet Request. Launch or terminate instances from a Spot Fleet Request, or automatically replace instances that get interrupted for price or capacity reasons. Amazon ECS. Adjust the ECS service desired count up or down in response to load variations. Amazon DynamoDB enables DynamoDB table or global secondary index to increase or decrease its provision read or write capacity. Amazon Aurora dynamically adjusts the number of Aurora read replicas provision for an Aurora DB cluster to handle changes in an active connection or workload. Now, what is Route 53? Route 53 is Amazon's domain name system. With a domain name system, we access information online through domain names like Amazon.com or YouTube.com. DNAs translate domain names to IP addresses so browsers can load internet resources. DNS services eliminate the need for humans to memorize IP addresses. So Route 53 is an actual DNS service. This service is intended to help developers to be able to direct end users to internet applications. Route 53 DNS can be integrated with other AWS resources such as EC2 instances, Balancer S3 buckets, Amazon CloudFront distribution, and others. It also can be used with non-AWS resources. You can use Route 53 to register domain name for your website or web applications. Developers can purchase and manage domain names using domain name registration, and Amazon Route 53 will automatically configure DNS settings for those domains. It also can be used for DNS routing. And to do health checking of your resources, Route 53 sends automated requests over the internet to the resource, such as a web server, to verify that it's reachable, available, and functional. You also can choose to receive notification when resource becomes unavailable. If a resource becomes unavailable, then it automatically redirects the user to a healthy resource. Let's talk about regions, availability zones, and local zones. AWS is a cloud platform that has presence worldwide. In order to offer the clients a global footprint and to allow them to build high availability and fault-tolerant systems. Currently, Amazon has data centers in North America, South America, Europe, China, Africa, Asia Pacific, and Middle East. Amazon AWS resources are hosted in multiple locations worldwide. When we host our instances, we can specify different regions where we want our resources to be replicated. The presence of AWS regions worldwide is important for workloads that are latency sensitive and need to be located near users in particular geographic areas. Having this region has many advantages for customers, because your resources replicated in different regions will have independent power, cooling, and physical security and is connected via redundant, ultra-low latency network. Amazon managed three concepts that they call regions, availability zone, and local zones. AWS regions. A region is a physical location around the world where Amazon clusters data centers. Each region contains two or more availability zones, which are data centers with redundant power, networking, and connectivity in an AWS region. Availability zones in a region are connected to each other through low latency links. When you create certain resources in a region, you will be asked to choose a zone in which to host that resource. And when you view these resources, you see only those resources that are tied to a region that you specified. When you create certain resources in a region, you will be asked to choose a zone in which to host that resource. And when you view those resources, you will see only those that are tied to the region that you specified. Amazon RDAs enables you to place resources such as DB instances and data in multiple locations. Resources are not replicated across AWS regions unless you do so specifically. You can also distribute your database instances across multiple availability zones in a multi-AC deployment. In such cases, if one of the database instances fails, you can design your application so that the database instance in another availability zone can handle these requests. A local zone is an extension of an AWS region in a geographic proximity to your users. When you launch an instance, you can select a subnet in a local zone. Local zones have their own connection to the internet and support AWS Direct Connect, so resources created in a local zone can serve local users with a very low latency communication. Benefits: security monitored 24/7 to help ensure confidentiality, integrity, and availability of your data. Availability: each region is fully isolated, comprised of multiple AZs, which are fully isolated partitions of Amazon infrastructure. To better isolate any issues and achieve high availability, you can partition applications across multiple AZs in the same region. Performance: AWS regions offer low latency, low packet loss, and high overall network quality. This is achieved with a fully redundant 100 GB fiber network backbone, often providing many terabits of capacity between regions. Global footprint: when deploying your application and workloads to the cloud, you have the flexibility in selecting a technology infrastructure that is closest to the primary target of users. Scalability: users can provision the amount of resources that they actually need, knowing that they can instantly scale up or down along with the needs of their business. Flexibility: the AWS global infrastructure gives you the flexibility of choosing how and where you want to run your workloads. If you'd like to run your application globally, you can choose from any of the AWS regions and availability zones. If you need to run your application with single-digit millisecond latencies to mobile devices and end users, you can choose AWS Local Zones and AWS Wavelength. Or if you would like to run your application on premises, you can choose from AWS Outposts. Alright, let's talk about how to pay for AWS services, what is the pricing model that they use, and what benefits they are offering now. There are three fundamental aspects that Amazon will have in account when charged for these services. These aspects are compute, storage, and outbound data transfer. AWS offers several pricing models depending on product. You can select any of those depending which one you consider the right one for your project. The first one is on-demand, pay-as-you-go. You pay for compute or database capacity with no long-term commitments or upfront payments. You just pay for the resources that you use. These pairing options allows you to easily adapt your business depending on real need, not on forecast, and avoiding over-positioning or missing capacity. Save when you reserve. Reservation provides you with the ability to receive greater discount up to 70% by paying the capacity ahead of time. When you buy reserved instances, the larger the upfront payment, the greater the discount. For certain services like Amazon EC2 and Amazon RDS. Reserved instances are available in three options: all upfront ORI, partial upfront PURI, or not upfront NURI. Pay less using more. Tier pricing. You can get volume-based discounts. For services such as S3 and data transfer out from EC2, pricing is tiered, meaning the more you use, the less you pay per gigabyte. Amazon also offers AWS free tier. The AWS free tier enables you to gain free hands-on experience with AWS platform, products, and services. AWS free tier includes offers that expire 12 months after sign up, and others never expire. There are three options of free service. Always free. These free tiers offered do not expire, and they are available to all AWS customers. Database, compute, mobile, developer tools, business productivity, storage, security, identity, and compliance customer engagement. 12 months free. Enjoy this offer for 12 months following your initial sign-up date to AWS. Database, compute, mobile, developer tools, business productivity, storage, security, identity compliance, customer engagement, machine learning. Trials. Short-term free trials offers start from the date that you activate a particular service, the aforementioned services, and including analytics. AWS Pricing Calculator estimates the cost for your architect solution. Configures a cost estimate that fits your unique business or personal needs with AWS products and services. TCO Calculator compares your on-premise cost with AWS cost, and it will help you to decide which one to implement depending on your budget.